In Sumy region, the invading Russian soldiers trying to advance on land encountered resistance from Ukrainian fighters in the water as well. Russian paratroopers attempting to cross a river in a small boat became targets for Ukrainian drone operators. The boat was destroyed by shells fired from drones, and 3 paratroopers on board were eliminated.
Russian Z resources acknowledge the difficult situation of their units in the Sumy direction. According to the Northern Channel, the 234th Airborne Assault Regiment of the Russian Armed Forces suffered serious losses in the battles near Yunakovka and found itself in a critical situation. On May the 7th, the same source reported that Ukrainian forces had broken through the defenses of the 104th Airborne Regiment in Yunakovka. It was then claimed that the 234th Regiment would be sent to reinforce them in order to repel the breakthrough. However, the attempt to regain the lost positions was unsuccessful. On August the 8th, Z Channel clarified that the situation had developed extremely unfavorably for the Russian armed forces. Things didn't turn out as rosy as we would have liked in Yunakovka. The 234th Airborne Assault Regiment, while conducting stabilization, suffered greatly, exhausted by many days of fighting, and will probably be withdrawn for restoration. Logistics are blocked. Several of our groups are surrounded in the southern part. Attempts to unblock are under fire pressure. The situation is critical. Either we break through the corridor and hold the bridgehead, or we risk losing the stronghold entirely. Now they are deciding who will dictate the terms on this section of the front tomorrow, the Russian resource wrote. The report indicates that Ukrainian troops not only held the breakthrough, but also managed to block the enemy's supply lines, threatening the existence of one of the key Russian strongholds in this sector. Earlier, media reported that Putin's army is again trapped in Sumy region. The Ukrainian armed forces have driven the occupiers into a cauldron. The situation is difficult for the Russian armed forces in the area of the village of Alexeyevka. The occupiers made a serious miscalculation, as a result of which the group was practically cut off from the main forces. For now, we are strengthening ourselves in the Alexeyevka area so as not to slip into a cauldron. We let through between Kondratovka and Andreyevka. They drove us in. There is water on 3 sides, and the Ukrainian armed forces on the 4th. The source reports. Supplying the Russian group in this area has proven to be virtually impossible. The only logistical route is by water, but it is also completely controlled by the Ukrainian defense forces. The boat is there now. That's all the logistics, and the logistics, is in the crosshairs of their drones, the Z author admits. He emphasizes that the Russian military is currently in an extremely difficult situation. The guys are really in a meat grinder now. There is no approach, no retreat. Everything that can be ironed out is ironed out, complains Northern Channel. As reported on the night of the 3rd of August, the SBU's attack drones visited Saki airfield, 240 kilometers from the front line in Russian-occupied Crimea. The explosive drones destroyed one Sukhoi Su-30 fighter jet and damaged another, and also damaged 3 Sukhoi Su-24 bombers, the SBU claimed. An aviation depot, potentially containing weapons or fuel, was also hit, according to the SBU. The successful special operation of the SBU in Saki is another step towards weakening the enemy's ability to wage a war of aggression against Ukraine, the SBU announced. The occupiers should remember that they will never feel safe on our land. What's especially embarrassing to the Russians is that they just finished building at least 12 concrete bunker shelters at Saki to house the aircraft operating from the often attacked base. Inside these reinforced shelters, we've identified both jets and larger drones, including the Orion, reported Tatarigami, the head of the Ukrainian Frontintelligence Insight Analysis Group. The shelters didn't fully protect the planes at Saki, if the SBU's claims are accurate. The Saki raid brings to 27 the number of Russian aircraft Ukrainian drones have destroyed or damaged since the 1st of June. It's not the worst month for the Russian Air Force since Russia widened its war on Ukraine 42 months ago, but it's close. In all, Russian forces have lost 162 planes and 157 helicopters, according to Euromaidan Press media outlet. The SBU's deep strike campaign, mostly targeting Russia's own deep strike assets, dramatically widened this summer. On the 1st of June, the SBU smuggled long-haul trucks full of explosive first-person view drones close to 5 Russian bomber bases. SBU claimed its drones had struck around 40 warplanes at Dyagilevo, Ivanovo, Olenia, Belaya, and Ukrainka air bases. By eliminating a portion of Russia's missile carriers, the 1st of June operation, Spiderweb, could have significant effect that should dramatically reduce Russia's ability to launch missiles against Ukrainian cities and kill civilians, noted Ben Hodges, a retired U.S. Army general. On the night of the 27th of June, the SBU's long-range attack drones, potentially Ukroboronprom AN-196s, dealt another painful blow to the occupiers. According to the service, the explosive drones struck the Russian airfield in Kirovsk, 130 miles from the front line in southern Ukraine. The SBU claimed it destroyed MiL Mi-8 and Mi-26 transport helicopters and a MiL Mi-28 attack helicopter, as well as a Pantsir air defense vehicle. A reported secondary explosion may point to Russian ammunition stocks or parked drones cooking off. The very same night, drones struck Kirovsk. The SBU and Ukraine's Special Operations Command, the SSO, struck a second time and damaged, if not destroyed, as many as 5 Russian Air Force Sukhoi Su-34 fighter bombers at Marinovka Air Base in Volgograd Oblast, 290 kilometers from the front line. The 150 or so Su-34s that are left, after several dozen have been lost over Ukraine, are Russia's primary platforms for dropping cab winged glide bombs on Ukrainian positions. The 500 and 1,000 kilogram cabs range as far as 64 kilometers. They can be jammed, but the sheer number of cabs raining down on the Ukrainians, thousands per month, make them among the most damaging munitions in the Russian arsenal.